What up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of King's Court. I'm your man, King Real, joined once again with my man, Jay Money. What's up, Jay?
What's up, y'all? Hey, y'all been asking, man. A whole lot of people on Twitter asking me how to get the plays, man. Hey, this is it. I tweeted the leak out. Y'all got to watch the show, man. So we here. We ready to cash some tickets, man. Let's get it.
I just heard somebody tell me on Low Bag Show that don't hold people for ransom for my plays or our plays. We need to just give it to them when they ask for it. We shouldn't make people come and watch our show. Bro, if I could have hopped through that motherfucking phone and choked the living shit out of him, I would have, J Money.
Yeah, no, I can't believe that. And it's actually more and more people that's starting to be in my inbox saying, can we get them out earlier? Because they can't watch the show. So can we pretty much just send the plays? It's not that I don't mind helping people out. We're doing this, you know what I'm saying, as a job. We want you guys to watch the show. That's pretty much the whole point. And then we'll send the plays out on Twitter afterwards. So we might give a few out during the day. But as far as all the plays for the show, that would pretty much be bad for us. We probably wouldn't end up getting paid. So, you know what I'm saying, enough of that. We can get to this first game real quick. I know it's going to start off since that's the problem people be having. We can get to it real quick, man. Y'all got time to bet it?
Yeah, we could jump on into it, but real quick, if you ain't here, Gay Pass Key, bro, leave, bro. That really offended me, homeboy, and I'm so cool. You really offended me when you said that to me, bro. Like, just give you my plays. We're giving them for free, partner. I'm not asking you for nothing, but I can start asking you for something if that's what you want, bro. Just trust me, I definitely can start asking you for something in order to get my plays. So just keep it humble, man. Keep it sweet. Keep it G. Always keep it G, man. We get on to this first game, though, real quick, Jay Money, because we will be joined a little bit by Mr. Ian Cameron, man. He'll come on in here, man, talk some NBA with us, talk some college basketball with us, see if we can ask him for an NHL player or something. But on to this first game, though, real quick, Jay, man. Raptors. I was looking at this spot last night, and I knew last night Kawhi was not playing. I knew it already. I didn't hop on it last night. I was going to take the Kings. I said, man, something's funny with this line, bro, because my book took it away from me 2 or 3 times. Now no Fox is playing. I'm on the first quarter in this game, J Money. First quarter Toronto Raptors. I'm also thinking about now with no Fox playing, man, about taking the first half, bro. I took the over this morning at 229, and now these injuries, I'm kind of iffy on that total, so I don't really want to give that out to anybody. I'm not going to tell you the over or the under, but I am on the first quarter, first half. What's your thoughts real quick, Jake?
Right, yeah, this is an absolute terrible spot for the Kings. If it wasn't their third game in 4 nights, all traveling on the road and on the back-to-back, I probably would look to back them this spot, especially getting double digits. But obviously that's baked into the line. You got no Kawhi out there, but then you still got the rest of the players out for the Raptors. I do like the Raptors in this game. I didn't bet them, especially seeing that the Fox News. That makes me like them even more. I'm hoping that the Kings. We know how the Kings play. They like to run. They like to run fast pace. But lately, every single one of their games, their past 7 games have went under a total. Like I said yesterday as well, it went under a total. Yesterday, it pretty much I'm not gonna say snuck under the total, but it ended up going under. It was a high-ass spread, 231. I think it went under rather easily. That was the 7th straight under. I'm riding this trend again, man. I'm looking forward to go 8 straight unders. It's hard to with the Kings because they like to push the pace, but with no Fox out there tonight, I'm hoping that there's going to be that they're scoring. They're going to miss that tonight, and we know that the Raptors, they're going to be getting ready for the Pacers tomorrow. I look for them to lock down on the Kings. The Kings should get super tired here in the second half. If they did it last night, got tired against the Nets. Damn, man, I don't know what this second half might look. I'm probably just going to wait and take the Raptors probably with whatever the second half. Don't quote me on that, but if it's kind of sort of a close game or even then less than 10, I'm taking the Raptors second half because the Kings should definitely burn out in the second half in this one.
That's exactly the same way I feel. Exactly what you said about burning out the second half of this one. Man, they had a game yesterday, man. They had to run and compete when they played the Nets, bro. That wasn't just no bullshit ass game. That's a game right there, Jay. That you burn energy off that shit. I think that was the Nets they played yesterday, correct? Hold on, let me put my shit up, man. It was like I had a busy ass day yesterday. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was the Nets.
So when you play the Nets, man, that's a lot of defense, a lot of energy you just spending out there on the court in general, man. So that wasn't an easy win, and the Kings were winning that game before the Nets came back and won that game. So imagine you winning the game and then they just kind of like they lost. Similar, they lost it yesterday in that game. So I expect them to do the same thing in this second half. And we watched Toronto, man. Toronto has been winning games by a margin of 10 points at home. I mean, This team is still a pretty good team. No Val there, though, but this team is still a better team than the Kings team. Man, I like the Kings when they have Fox in there. He does a lot for this team. I don't think Buddy could do it all by himself tonight, man. So give me the Raptors first quarter. Give me the Raptors first half. I took the over, but what Jay is saying right now about the under does make sense. I'm not going to back out my bet, though, Jay. You know, once I make a bet, I stick with it, but I'm not going to give it out to the people. If it hit, it hit, but that line is moving against me now, sitting at 228 from 229.5. Anything else you're looking for in this game besides that? You just going to hop on it second half, Jay, in the under?
Yeah, no, I still like the Raptors, but I didn't really have time to get it. Like you say, when I saw the Fox out, I didn't want to mess with it. Me personally, the way that I was thinking if Fox was in, I was looking to maybe take the Kings plus the points. But and like I said, I didn't bet it. I know someone asked me on Twitter my thoughts on it. I was thinking Kings leaning that boy, but I told him I didn't bet it. You know, so with no Fox, there's no way in hell. I mean, the Kings already gonna be super tired of shit. Then they don't have their best player out there, highest score, assist, all this shit. I mean, he's the heart and soul of the team pretty much. They can still score. They still have other players out there, but face up against the Raptors, the only way the Raptors take it easy on them is because this is the front end of a back-to-back, and they play the Pacers tomorrow. That's the only thing I think, but it's not like it's a revenge game like they lost to the Pacers the last game. They actually won, but, I mean, they're still going to get up to play the Pacers. I still like the Raptors in this game. I'm with you first quarter, first half, and full game. It's just I didn't really get a chance to bet it. Getting ready for the show and stuff, but I still do like it. And I'm definitely, like I say, probably going to be on Raptors second half. And yeah, I did take the under. It could go over too, real. We know how the Kings are. Even though Fox is out, they could still, you know what I'm saying, run and gun and end up scoring points. I see people in the chat saying Buddy Hield will score points tonight. They're going to have Bagley in the starting lineup. And the Raptors can score points as well. So, I mean, it could go either way. It's just without Fox and with the Friends, I had to ride with the under in this fight.
No doubt, no doubt. Real quick, Jay, I know college is kicked off right now, but do you have any 4 o'clock games that kicked off? Not the later games. You know, we'll talk about that with Mr. Ian Cameron, but any games that kicked off right now where somebody could possibly hop in on the in play and tell you on?
Yeah, I'm on Auburn money line. I don't see them losing tonight, man. They down 7 right now, so I would see what you could get for Auburn live, or I'm hoping that they'll be down second half and I can just hammer Auburn second half. But I mean, I know South Carolina's been playing well and at the house, but like I say, Auburn coming off the loss. Give me Auburn. They coming off the loss to Kentucky. Give me Auburn in this spot, man. They're down by 9 right now. I like them to come back and win this game. It hurts that they're on the road, but I would look towards them second half. I did take Mississippi State plus the points versus Kentucky. Keep an eye on that one. They're down by 4 right now. If you in play it right now, you probably could get still plus the 7.5 right now if you like it, or if you didn't get a chance to bet. I did take Notre Dame as well. I think Maxwell Smart with me on that one, and Ian Cameron with me on that one. And I'm on Florida State money line and minus the 6. That's it for the early games.
Yeah, let me go to my college real quick and see what I took on the early slate, if I took anything. I made some bets today when I was in the car with the wife, just mobbing around, being a degenerate gambler. But no, the only thing that I've taken so far, Buffalo. Only play I've made so far, was Buffalo. I think that's my only college play right now, waiting for Mr. Cameron. Real quick, though, back to this NBA game that's going to kick off. The first half is at 114. You think that first half get over? Or that's an under bet too? Because I'm leaning to the under now that just no Fox. Even though I am on the over 229, maybe the under first half is a good play too. What do you think?
Yeah, the first half, it actually could fly because the thing we saw last night, the first half was pretty much trending over against the Nets, and then that fourth quarter, man, was just fucking dreadful. It was dreadful for the Kings. I mean, I think at one point they had like 8 points or something in the fourth quarter. I mean, I was on the Nets in this one, and like I say, I saw them get down by like 6 to 8 points. I'm like, oh shit, man, don't tell me the Nets finna lose this game. And then I'm talking about second half, I look back at it, they outscored the Kings 30-9 in the fourth quarter, man. So, I mean, I like under the whole way in this game, but the way I see it in the second half, I just really feel like they're going to burn out. I didn't take the first half under, but I did just take the full game. But I'm definitely see what you're saying. Hopefully it gets off to the pace to where first half under and full game is. And the Kings don't even touch 100 points. If the Nets can hold them to 94, I don't see why the Raptors can, and the Kings are on the back-to-back without their highest scoring player. So I could definitely see that.
No doubt. Cameron Joyce said he got at 116. Nice move, Max. Is at 114 now, so he beat it by 2 points. Brian G, I don't know what that means. Never bet a black man, bro, but I talk with my hands, homie. So you ever want to have a conversation, man, fly out to Vegas, man. We can talk with these hands. I talk well with my hands, bro. I've been told I have a great communication skill when I use these. We don't do no racist shit in here, bro. So cut that shit out. But anyway, Jay, man, let's leave the negativity alone. We waiting for our man Ian Cameron to come in here. Let's touch on yesterday real quick. Yesterday was Dr. Martin Luther King Day. Hey, shout out to Dr. King. I had a dream on Sunday. I was going to cash on Monday. And Jay, that's exactly what happened for us, bro. We ate that shit up, man. I had a busy day yesterday. Did 3 shows, 11 games. Killed all 11 games except for 1 game that let me down, man. Besides that, Jay, I seen you put out a parlay, bro. That was dope as shit that you cashed on. I'm low-key pissed because you didn't even DM it to me. You didn't say, hey, Real, tell this shit. What's up, Real? You want a piece of this money or action or something? If it was some weed, you wouldn't let me hit it. But you wouldn't let me get none of that money, too?
Nah, and look, yesterday I did have a good day. It was a good Martin Luther King Day, man. I'm truly blessed. You know what I'm saying? I got pretty lucky. Don't get it twisted, man. I had parlays, but I still straight bet as well, man. The parlays, people that's watching, man, the parlay is not the way to go, man. Just straight parlays. I'm telling you, 1 loss, and then obviously I would have lost. Man, I still got parlays going, man, with the Super Bowl, all types of stuff. It was a monster day yesterday. I can't believe it. But I can't say, and I'm so pissed because the parlays that I did put out on Twitter had the Grizzlies on it, and they lost. If it wasn't for the Grizzlies, we would have won that parlay. Everything else hit except for the Boston first half money line pushing. But I'm sorry to guys, you know what I'm saying? They were saying that the only ones I did put out were the ones that had Grizzlies or the ones that lose. For some reason, the parlays that I post to you guys, man, they lose. And then the personal ones, man, that I can't post it, I got to win something for myself, man. But I started putting out more parlays and more picks, you know what I'm saying, ahead of time. And, you know, Real, I got you, man. Hey, we gonna keep on cashing. I know you ain't greedy, too, bro. You had them Bulls big. I know you ain't hurt for nothing.
Yeah, man. Yesterday was a nice day, man. The wife basically went up and went shopping this morning. Wasn't no issue. Seth said he got rid of that gentleman. Thank you, Seth, for taking care of that, man. That was just totally out of line. But yeah, man, wife went shopping this morning and shit. We've been eating good, Jay, for a long time now, though, bro. You know what I mean, off this NBA. But yesterday was one of the days where I could just sit back and watch the money just kept coming in. I made a few parlays too. I don't make my parlays as big as you make more of your parlays. Like I have a rule. I never try to go more than 3 teams. Every now and then maybe 4. I don't go no more than that. But I see how you was doing it, man, with the money lines. And you mixed in a bunch of little totals and stuff, man. But that was a nice payout, bro. So congrats to you on that payout, man. So you guys want some parlays? Everybody be in my DM box. You got a 7 team or an 8 team or this and that. I'm not telling you hop in Jay's DM box. Hit him on Twitter or something to see if he's on something, man, and tell it that way, man. But don't flood the inbox.
Right. Yeah, like I say, the parlays like I was doing yesterday, I was taking a little bit of long, sharp parlays. I mean, you see a few of them was like $20, man. And I really do hate doing like 19 parlays, but this is what I do. Just real quick, not to harp on it too much. We still got other games to get to, but I always cap all the games and write down what I like, just like I'm straight betting. I still do straight betting them. And then if I like some stuff that I really like, or I feel like I can string together some money lines, that's the whole thing with the parlays. You'll see me taking a shitload of money lines, a team that's favored. Buffalo is a prime example tonight where, I mean, obviously I like them with the points, so I'm definitely going to like them to win the game straight up. Throw some other games in there that you really feel strong on, sides, maybe a few totals with those money lines in there, and you're going to cash out, man, more times than none. So that's the whole thing, the key to my parlays. Throw those money line favorites in there that you pretty much see there's damn near no way they could lose. It does happen sometimes, but, I mean, your times you're going to win are going to go up a lot, man, because you're not going to get messed off by those last points, man. Enough for yesterday, man. Let's get to some cash again today.
Well, we wait for Mr. Babano to come in here, man. I want to run through these NBA games without having him in here because I want to, go back and forth. We got a small slate, but let's answer some questions from the chat real quick. Matter of fact, what's up, chat? What's up, Randy? What's up, Johnny? Grenard, man, you know what? I can do math. I can read, but some of these names I can't pronounce. So if I just go past your name or I say it wrong, my apologies. I'm trying the best I can off of public school education. So bear with me. Melly Mal, Underdog, Robert, Seth, The Jewish, Vegas Gun. What's up, Vegas Gun? Kevin, Anthony, everybody who's in here, man. Thank everybody for tuning in and coming in. Today we got, like I said, we got a small slate today. Tomorrow is the monster card. And I got some news too. Starting on Mondays, our man Ski Profit will start joining me and Jay Money on here every Monday to get him in here. And we'll probably have another special guest to join us every Friday or Wednesday. So I'm out right now talking to my guys, trying to add more content to the show, bring in cappers that I trust, cappers that I know win, and guys that just know basketball. So it is what it is. Real quick too, Jay, what you just touched on about your parlay, bro, I do the same thing, but I do it, like I said, I do it differently. I cap all the games. Say if we got 6 NBA games on, I'll cap all 6. I'll take 3, put them on a parlay, put 3 on another parlay. I parlay 2 here, parlay there. When I first started betting sports, I used to bet the massive parlays, and I was losing way more money than I was making. You know what I mean? Doing it that way. I look at the end of the week like, damn, I done made about 7 or 8 parlays in 2 days, and they all lost by one team. And then I started making straight bets, and that's when I started racking in the money and start cashing in the money. But the parlays are still great on that aspect. But we don't have to wait no longer, man. We can get right to the capping. Man, I am so honored to have this gentleman on my show. This man, I went to dinner with him at IFBC, me and my wife. We had a great conversation. This guy is a class act, and I mean class act. One of the nicest human beings I have ever met in my entire life, and I mean that truly. Mr. Ian Cameron, man, welcome on to King's Court, brother. Thank you for joining us.
King Rail, it's great to be with you here tonight. It really is. Thank you for inviting me into your palace, so to speak, here on King's Court. I'm excited to be on here with you finally. No doubt, no doubt.
I'm glad to have you. I know I told my man Jay Money you was coming on. He was pumped up too. Like, man, we get to ask some college questions, some maybe some NHL questions or whatnot. But real quick, before we hop into the basketball, do you have any NHL players you want to give to people real quick, if in case they don't even follow NHL, but maybe want to start following you and learning more about it?
Yeah, I do have a couple of plays tonight on the ice, King Rail, no question. We've got the Islanders in Chicago. This game's going to start in about an hour from now, 8:35 p.m. Eastern. First puck drop. I was going to say opening tip. Opening puck drop. Islanders and Blackhawks. I'm going to go in on the over here in the first period of this game. Got to lay some juice here. It's about minus 155. But Chicago Blackhawks first period overs, they've been unbelievable. In fact, there's a few teams in the NHL where if you bet these teams first period over, game in, game out, you're doing really, really well. And Chicago is one of those teams. They have been just a machine with high-scoring first periods. So I like the over in the first period of that game. I kind of like the Edmonton Oilers, minus 140 against the Detroit Red Wings. Their best player, Connor McDavid, sort of went off to the media saying, these players on my team, we better realize we got to get better. We've got to be better defensively. We got to keep pucks out of our net. We got to wake up and start playing better hockey. So Edmonton, I think, could be coming out focused, and it's a winnable game. Detroit's, an up and down hockey team. So I took Edmonton there, and I'm on the over 6.5 in the Carolina Calgary game. Calgary's on a 6-0 over run, 9-1 to the over their last 10 games, 6-0 to the over their last 6 home games. Carolina's on a 7-2-1 over streak as well. Their offense is perked up. Calgary's one of the highest scoring teams in the NHL, so you should see goals in that. So I like the first period over Chicago, Edmonton minus 140 against Detroit, Carolina, Calgary over 6.5. Kakalaki, as they say, with the Carolina Hurricanes.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, thank you. So everybody who's came in here for the basketball, man, you guys were just blessed by one of the greatest minds in NHL. I'm telling you, when it comes to NHL, I don't know nothing, but I've been learning a lot more. But I learned it from watching this man when he had the Ice Guys and watching Jimmy the Bag. So, man, thank you so much for blessing everybody with them plays. And while you were saying that, my wife was over here licking her lips because she loves hockey, so she was writing down your plays too. So I'm pretty sure I'll look on my account a little bit and she'll tell something. So definitely you'll get a thank you from me. Win those cash, Mr. Ian Cameron. Let's get right to it, though, man. We got some NBA games that we already ran through, the Raptors game. Real quick, what was your thoughts on that game, the Kings-Raptors, if you don't mind? I know it kicked off already, Ian, but did you have a play on that game at all tonight?
Yeah, Toronto Raptors are, of course, a team, King Rail. I'm about an hour away from Toronto. I watch this team, but pretty much every game they play, I'm watching it. I've been a Raptor fan really since day one when this franchise came to the city in 1995. It's hard to believe, almost 25 years now that the Toronto Raptors have been in the NBA. But obviously they're going to have a big anniversary for that pretty soon. But I get to watch this team a lot. Sacramento's a team, though, that I've been impressed with them, King Rail. I really have. I look at this Kings team, Jagerbaum, the coach, Dave Jager. He's finally got some young talent to work with this group. Although he's not playing tonight, De'Aaron Fox, Willie Cauley-Stein, Buddy Hield. has been excellent for the Sacramento Kings this season. They've played hard. They've been a point spread. They've been a winning point spread team. ATS this season. They've been fun to watch. It is a tough spot for them. I mean, you guys mentioned it before I jumped on the show here about it's a difficult back-to-back situation for Sacramento. Now you're playing one of the elite teams in the NBA. Not easy, even with Kawhi sitting. Again, the Raptors have opted to sit Kawhi on one of the two back-to-backs. Whenever they're in these back-to-back sets, they chose tonight to sit him. But obviously a difficult spot for them. But I didn't take the Raptors. I didn't do the old Homer Ian here, and let's bet the Raptors, my favorite team. But obviously it's a tough spot here for Sacramento. But so far they've hung in there in the first 6 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, let's get on to this next game. And J Money, you've been over there quiet for a little bit, so I'll let you bring us into this next game, J Money, and then Mr. Ian Cameron can follow up behind you. Trailblazers and Thunder, J Money. Let me hear your breakdown.
Yeah, well, you already know. First off, man, Ian Cameron, man, round of applause. I've been watching on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Whenever a low bag show, I found out about SBR. I've been seeing you, and then now I'm on the same show with you, man. So it's definitely a dream come true, right? Like Real say, I'm pumped up to have you too, man. On to this game, man, real quick. On this OKC, we saw them blow the shit out the Knicks yesterday, man. A lot of people I'm seeing taking the Knicks +9. They didn't think OKC could do it, man. I'm talking about they just curve stomped them from the get-go, man. Never looked back. George is absolutely balling right now, man. I love the way PG is out there playing. He's playing relaxed. Can't nobody out there stop him right now, man. You see him with the little jab and the three-point step back. Can't nobody see him right now, man. The Blazers, we know. I was on them last night. Super tough game versus the Jazz. They ended up pulling out on the money line, man. I'm so glad. And it went under, too. I couldn't believe all three of them hit. The +5, the money line, and the under. All of them did. Super tough game. It is a revenge spot. I do like the Blazers, but not so much on the road. I would have to lean towards OKC here. I didn't bet the game, and I would also look towards the under, but this is just tough of a call to me. But two Western Conference teams toughing it out tonight. I kind of like the under in this one.
No doubt. Thoughts, Mr. Babano?
I like Portland here. In fact, I think 5.5. It was 5.5, 6 earlier. There's a lot of people on this Portland side. It's been bet down pretty heavily, down to 4, 4.5. But Oklahoma City, okay, you've had a nice couple of wins in a row. You beat the Sixers, you beat the lowly Knicks. By the way, I got to get this rant off. I don't get a chance to talk NBA very much. The Knicks, I see the Knicks that they played them last OKC. I got to get this off my chest. Are the New York Knicks going to be good at any point in the rest of my life? Like, really, are the New York Knicks ever going to get to a point where they're relevant again? It's been almost 20 years. It's the Big Apple. It's New York City, bright lights. And you've got one of the most embarrassing, the biggest laughingstock franchises in professional sports, and you've had it for 20 years. You haven't been relevant since Latrell Sprewell, for crying out loud, was on the team nearly 20 years ago. I mean, enough already. I mean, it's an absolute – it's like the New York Knicks have been sentenced to the garbage dump. They've been locked in there, life sentence. You're never getting out. And to me, are we ever going to see this team make inroads? Are we ever going to see the New York Knicks be a competitive team, challenging to make the playoffs, in the playoffs again? I mean, I'm still waiting. It's sad to see what's come of this franchise. But anyway, I like Portland in this game here tonight, getting the points against OKC. I don't trust OKC. They go in and out defensively. You know, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, sometimes that chemistry is not always something that I'm enamored with this basketball team. Portland's starting to turn it up. They've won 3 games in a row. Lillard's been good. Yusuf Nurkic has been a big-time presence in the low post for the Blazers. And I just like the idea of them catching points right now against a Thunder team that I have some trouble laying points with right now. They've not been a great favorite at times this season, and I know it's back-to-back for both teams, so I don't see it as a disadvantage for either team. I just think Portland's a team I trust more than OKC right now, so I'm going to get the Blazers here plus the points.
No doubt. You make an excellent point for what you just said. Jay Money makes an excellent point for what he said. So let me hit some people with some of these stats real quick. Both of the teams are on a back-to-back. OKC is 14-7 at home, 25-21 ATS. Blazers are 6-1 ATS last 7 games, but they are 4-9 straight up last 13 games on the road. Blazers D is ranked 18th, 23rd when it comes to guarding the perimeter. That's what scares me a little bit with the Blazers tonight. They had a tough game yesterday against the Utah Jazz, man. Utah embarrassed My Portland Trailblazers twice this year already in less than a week. They just destroyed that team by a total of 51 points in both of those victories combined. They won by. So Blazers had to go out yesterday and put up a fight. They were down 2. They had to fight back in that game, man. And going up against Rudy and going up against Favors them were some big boys. I'm concerned tonight for the Blazers that Adams may just be a little bit too much. I watched OKC yesterday kind of find a 3-point shot against the Knicks team, and that's exactly what I expected them to do, was to find their range against that team. What scares me about OKC is they're a better team. They have a better home record, but to me, they play better on the road. They have to, and their road record isn't as good as their home record whatsoever, but they have to find a way to take the same way they play on the road and play that way at home. And Billy Donovan, I'm telling you guys, he should not be coaching this team whatsoever. Mark Jackson should be the coach of this team. Or Mark Jackson should be the coach up there in New York. In New York, what you just said as well, Ian. I took OKC here. I waited for the line to drop, but I got it at 3. I bought a point from the 4 to the 3, and that's how I played it. 5.5 was a little too much for me when it first kicked off, but seeing that you give me about a 3 or a 4, it's kind of like a pick 'em. So I took them here, but you make a great case, Mr. Ian Cameron, for the Blazers. Jay Money, you make a great case too. I don't know who wants to follow up. If you want to follow up, Mr. Ian Cameron, please go ahead, and then Jay Money following right after, please.
It's just, to me, and you mentioned Billy Donovan. I mean, it's time maybe to revisit the college basketball ranks again for him. It really hasn't worked out. It really hasn't panned out for him as an NBA head coach. It's been a lot of underachieving in a lot of recent seasons for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't think he's fully grasped, certain things that you got to learn in the NBA that are different from college, the differences, the nuances, NBA to college. I think he struggled with that, maybe adapting to the pro player as opposed to the college player. I think he struggled a little bit with that. But either way, his tenure at OKC as the head coach has been underwhelming. May not be the worst thing in the world for the OKC Thunder to maybe look elsewhere in the near future in terms of the coaching role.
No doubt. Jay Money, you got something you want to follow up?
Bobeno was exactly right on that one. I already said that. I'm ready to get rid of Billy Donovan. Like you say, I'm not too big on the college coaches anyway. It's like one of a million. Just because Brad Stevens came here in Flores doesn't mean that every college coach is going to come and have success in the NBA. But it definitely didn't work out with Billy Donovan. They can go ahead and get rid of them. I'm sorry. I mean, you have actually good players over there. You have a playoff contender team. If you go ahead and switch the coach now, it's not too late to go ahead and get somebody in there and have them ready for the playoffs. In this game, I'm not one to go and run to bet on OKC. And like I say, I didn't take neither side in this game. It's just from a standpoint of me betting, I would have to lean towards the OKC standpoint because I just feel like the Portland came off much tougher of a game. Like I say, I appreciate them very much. I really do. I don't want to go against them today. I appreciate them looking out for me yesterday, but that was a super tough game yesterday. Come from behind win, mind you, in the fourth quarter. Super tough defensive game, playoff type game. It's going to take a lot of them, and it was in altitude. And OKC, they're coming from New York, but they played much earlier, the first game in the day, and they coasted. So that was the big difference for me, but a no play for me. I could definitely understand both sides.
Real quick, Mr. Ian Cameron, any thoughts on the side? But the total in this game at 225. Do you lean under or over, or have you even capped that aspect of the game?
It's tricky on these back-to-backs because I'm more looking at unders than overs on these back-to-backs because I'm always a little concerned that the shooting legs are not going to be there when you're talking about back-to-back situations, and you're talking about that with both of these teams right now. So I'd lean under, but it's not a bet I'd be looking to make.
Got you. Well, you guys heard it right here, Mr. Ian Cameron. You said you got the Blazers correct at 5.5, sir?
Yeah, Blazers at 5.5, even 4 now. Worth a bet still, even at 4. I'll be honest. I like it. I think they got a shot to take this right down to the wire.
No doubt. Jay Money, what's your play again, sir?
Yeah, I didn't make an official play on this game. I would have to lean towards the under just for the simple fact of both teams coming, traveling. It's OKC third game in 4 nights with travel. I say they did play an early game tomorrow, but the OKC that haven't been playing any defense lately. They did yesterday, but the Knicks were just missing a ton of shots. The OKC under yesterday missed me off a nice little grand on another parlay, but it's all good. So I was kind of weary of betting the under again today, but I still do like it. And I like the Blazers they play defense, especially on the road. I don't think they'll score a whole lot tonight, but I do like them to slow the pace down. And like I said, they should be a little bit tired coming from Utah on that back-to-back tough game. So I would lean to the under, but this isn't a game that I made a bet on.
No doubt. And I'm leading you guys first quarter OKC to probably come out here, but I might not take it. I'm looking at these Raptors right now, first quarter. It's not panning out the way I thought it was going to pan out, man. Bagley's having a pretty good game, and so is Buddy Hield over here already. So we'll see, though. We'll see. I mean, the Kings may just pull this one out. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. But that first quarter, you guys know, I didn't bet a full unit on this first quarter. Wasn't like the Golden State Warriors game from yesterday. We're back to a regular type of format. So that was a smaller bet in the first quarter. Bigger bet in the first half, and if I was to take the full game, it'll be the combination of the first quarter, first half combined to make a full game. It'd be basically a full unit. So that's how we'll go. On to college, though, man. We got some college games. We'll go back and forth, back and forth. Mr. Ian Cameron, I'm on Buffalo tonight, man. They're 17-1. They're 5-0 in the MAC. Buffalo scores 85 points a game. CJ is just balling. NIU, they have a nice junior year in Eugene. What's your thoughts over here with Buffalo getting 8 points over here, Mr. Ian Cameron? Giving 8 points, I mean.
Yeah, Buffalo to me, King Rails, they're a team that I either back them or I pass. They're not a team I'm looking to bet against. I mean, they are a team that is clearly the class of this particular conference. If they want to and they're focused and they're into it, they can win any game they want by any margin they want. They're that much better than most of the teams in this conference. You look at them on the road; they've had no trouble. 17-1 overall, but 7-1 straight up on the road. 6-2 against the spread on the road. Nate Oates has done a great job, and I remember when Bobby Hurley bolted this program to take the Arizona State job. People were wondering, is this going to be the end of the nice little run that Buffalo basketball has had? Because Bobby Hurley's gone. Well, no. In fact, I think Nate Oates is a better coach than Bobby Hurley. I think Bobby Hurley's done a mediocre job, believe it or not, at Arizona State since he got there. I think they've been a little bit of an underachiever, to be honest. They haven't played good defensively. Their offense and their top players in terms of shooting the basketball have not really panned out at times at Arizona State. They haven't been consistent anyway. I think Nate Oates has done a great job. This team's experienced. They're loaded. Devontae Jordan, you mentioned King Rail, CJ Massenberg, one of the best mid-major players in college basketball. Jeremy Harris, Montel McRae. They have inside-outside balance. They shoot the three ball well. They can attack you in the paint. I mean, it's a very balanced basketball team. Northern Illinois is coming off back-to-back losses. Central Michigan, they lose outright as a favorite. They lose by double digits on the road at Kent State in their last game. That's not the kind of track record I'm looking for. Now, they have been better at home, but their best results have been at home this season, but they're playing the best team in this conference. This is a massive step up in class for them. I'm not sure they're ready to handle it. I'm certainly in a Buffalo or nothing situation for me in this game.
Man, that sounds so great to hear. Any follow-up to that, J Money?
Yeah, I'm with you guys on this one with Buffalo. Just like Ian Cameron said, I mean, if you can't beat Central Michigan at the house, while you're favored by 5 points, and then you got Buffalo rolling in here to the house they don't want to lose a game. I mean, they're probably pissed that they're not even ranked higher. Then national TV game, I see them coming to ball out tonight. I see pretty much no way that Buffalo will lose this game. This is one of those type of games, especially if throw Buffalo on the money line on the little parlay, on the nice little 5-team parlay money line if you would like to. So I was just saying earlier how to build those parlays. This is one of those games that I said. So, I mean, they lost the last game. I know it was last year. It's a little bit of a different team. It did technically lose the last game to Northern Illinois in overtime. So this is technically a revenge game. Long as CJ's out there, give me Buffalo all day, man.
Well, real quick, a follow-up question for you, Mr. Ian Cameron. That total's at 155.5. We know Buffalo scores about 85 points. Do we think that NIU could keep up and get that total over 155.5?
That's going to be the question, King. It's going to be whether Northern Illinois can keep up and score enough in order to get that game up and over the total, because you're good for 85 points, I think, with Buffalo every game, particularly in this conference. It's can you get 70 or more from Northern Illinois? That's going to be the big question, because that's what you're going to need from them to push this game up and over the total. When you're looking at Northern Illinois from a totals perspective, at home, they've played a little bit more efficiently, at least offensively. Their best outputs offensively have been at home all season long. So I actually did bet a little over in this game earlier in the morning because I saw it drop. This total was opened a lot higher. It was 158. It got down to about as low as 154 or 154 and a half, and now we've seen some buyback up to about 156 and a half. I thought once it got to 154 and a half, it got a bit too low. So I did bet a little over 154 and a half. It's up to 156 and a half right now. Buffalo's got the potential to really make it tough for this game to stay under the total. They should score. Northern Illinois has been better shooting the ball at home. So for that reason, I think I would lean over before I lean under the total here.
Got you. Any thoughts on that too as well, Jay?
Yeah, and this one, exactly what he says. I don't know about Northern Illinois scoring enough points. We know Buffalo is going to score. I mean, if, you know what I'm saying, national televised game, they could want to score even more or try to get as many points as possible for national rankings, you know what I'm saying, purpose. But I could only look over in Buffalo games, but I mean, they have to go under sometimes. So in this one, I didn't bet it, so I couldn't really say. But like I said, I could only look towards overs in Buffalo because I mean, they can go out there and get 100 points tonight. I definitely think so.
No doubt. Well, hey, we all agree, everybody, it's Buffalo for us. So that's a play from all three of us, man. And in the words of Wu-Tang Clan, I know my man Ian Cameron respect this, man. Cream. Cash moves everything around me. Dollar bill, y'all. So let's get it, man. Buffalo. Yeah. Buffalo minus 8. Mr. Cameron, you want to take us into this next NBA game, Clippers versus Mavs. Do you have a play on that game at all?
I got to say first, Wu-Tang Clan, I had the absolute privilege of seeing them live last year in Kitchener, Ontario, which is like an hour away from me. They performed at this outdoor venue. They were doing a 25th anniversary for Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers, a legend. That album came out 1993, 25th anniversary of that album. I got to see them last year. Great show. Everybody it was a great time. It was great to see them all together again. Really on stage more than anything, because this is, when you're in elementary school and high school 20 years ago, I'm listening to Wu-Tang, and one of my favorite groups of all time. That album was iconic. Their second album, Wu-Tang Forever, was good. I like the W. The W gets, up mixed reviews. I like the W, but I know some people thought differently. But Wu-Tang Clan, one of my favorites. I enjoyed seeing them last year, and kudos to them for coming to Canada too, because I know not a lot of some rap artists, rap groups, they don't come to Canada. Wu-Tang came to Canada. Good for them. Good on them for doing that.
Felonies. It's the felonies, Ian Cameron. A lot of people got felonies, so they can't get into Canada. Canada didn't want Snoop in there for a weed charge. It's hard to get in over there.
Well, exactly. We gotta get these people to chill out here. All these security people, officers, and all that. Chill out here. Chill the fuck out. Let them do their thing. Let them come perform. You back off a little bit. Will you please, for 24 hours? Let them perform. Come in here. De La Soul's one I saw a few years ago too at a beer fest in Toronto. So that was good as well. But anyway, Clippers and Dallas. Dallas, one of the know that one of the best point spread teams in the NBA, the Dallas Mavericks. Absolutely terrific they've been from a point spread standpoint. Clippers were a big surprise early in the season. They've sort of been a little more up and down, a little more erratic as of late. No play on this game for me. Lean Dallas, but I'm not going to get involved in this one.
No problem. Well, Jay Money, you a Dallas native. This game is going on right there in your backyard, bro. What's your thoughts over here? I have a feeling, Jay, me and you might be against each other on this play, bro. I'm hoping we're not. I'm hoping you see the same thing I see. But let me know what you want, Jay.
Yeah, this isn't a huge game for me at all. But this one, we know that there's bad blood between these teams. And what they always say, man, you have to kick a team while they're down. We know the Clippers have a few injuries right now. Lou Williams is coming back tonight, but they're still without Gallinari. They're off of pretty much a huge win in which no one could see them going out there beating the Spurs, especially the way that they did. But I could see it in the first quarter. The Clippers came to play, even without Gallinari and Lou Williams. It seemed like the Spurs have been to play, and the Clippers just come right out there and punch them in the mouth. But, before that, they lost 5 straight games. So, I'm not sold on them thinking they're going to turn the quarter that quick. They have a big revenge game versus the Heat tomorrow, and the Heat blew them out like by 23 points, 24 points the last time they played. So I think that the Mavs do win this game tonight. I did take the Mavs on the money line. It was a small shot. The last 7 games between these two teams, the home team has won. So I'm riding with that trend, and I like the Mavs to kick the Clippers right down. I know the Mavs have lost 4 straight. They're coming off 2 road losses on the road, a back-to-back, a kind of sort of tough spot for the Mavs. So if you do like the Clippers here, I can see what you're saying. They're coming off a tough game versus Milwaukee, which they had a terrible second half. They were winning in the first half, and then the game ended up going under. So it's a little bit of a bad spot for the Mavs, but I did take the under, and I did take the Mavs.
Yeah, you know what? My whole thing in this game, Jay, I know no Gallinari is playing. Lou Williams is playing tonight. I think Clippers are just due for a win. I know they beat San Antonio, and before that, you touched on, they lost 5 straight before getting that win over San Antonio. Doc Rivers' coaching is being in question now. I know the Clippers are they are desperately trying to make a trade. I haven't found out what they're trying to trade. I mean, who they're trying to trade or what they're trying to get, but I know they're definitely trying to make a trade. And if I be watching the games and seeing how the NBA goes, they desperately need a center, badly. Like I said, the carpenter they have running around there with his big ass knee pads on is not going to get the job done for this team over there. They desperately need a center. They have the guard play, and then they have Harris. I love Tobias Harris. I think the guy is a phenomenal player. I think that everywhere he goes, he plays. I wish he was on a winning organization that you could really see him shine and really see him flourish. I think he would do I think you put him on the Lakers would have probably lost that game the way. Well, they probably would have lost to Golden State yesterday, but they would have won some of these games they have been losing. I think he's a great player. In this situation, I had to jump on the Clippers over here. I know it's not really a fan pick, but I took the Clippers over here +4, man. I also hopped on the over at 222, Jay. Ian, I seen the total move to 224 in this game, but I'm on Clippers in this spot, man, and I'm on an over in this spot. That's how I can put it. I just think Clippers is due for one. I'm liking the backcourt. And with Dennis Smith's situation, too, man, if I was a guy, I wouldn't even play for you. You put me on a trade block. Now you're telling me I'm going to come play a game? Bro, trade me, man, because I'm going to go in there right now and play nothing but selfish basketball. I mean, I'm not a selfish person, but these NBA guys are about themselves. It's in their contract. They play certain minutes. They get rewarded. They do this. They get rewarded. And this guy was over here like, right now, y'all want to trade me? He's auditioning. So watch him run a bunch of plays for himself without the team tonight. Mr. Ian Cameron, what's your thoughts on that, the Dennis Smith situation, if you're up to date about it at all?
Well, the one thing about the Clippers that they have going for them is that win against San Antonio, that ended a 5-game losing streak for them. And a lot of times, you can use this kind of thinking across all sports, hockey, basketball, football. You snap a long losing streak with a win, maybe you can get that team to get that momentum and that confidence to carry over to the next game. And maybe that happens here tonight with the Clippers. So you could use that kind of thought process. Not crazy to think, hey, Clippers finally won a game against San Antonio, snapping a 5-game losing streak. They got a little extra bounce in their step when they take the court tonight against Dallas, and they ride the momentum of that win. That's very possible. And on the flip side, you mentioned the disgruntled point guard, Dennis Smith Jr. It's a real concern. You know, he's slated to rejoin the team tonight. He's been away for 6 games. He hasn't been happy with his role. You know, he's been it's probably at the point now where he's kind of hoping he's probably traded by the Dallas Mavericks at this point. You know, Rick Carlisle in a tough spot. You know, now he's going to try to assimilate him back into this basketball team. He is still a guy that can help you. 12.6 points, 3.9 assists, 2.6 rebounds per game on average this season from him. But how are the teammates going to react to this? Like, you've got rotations that you've been using now for some time without Smith. You've got chemistry that's been built with your current rotation, bench rotation, starting 5 that Dallas has. Now you start to put Smith in. How's that going to impact that? Is there going to be chemistry issues? Is there going to be cohesion issues on the basketball court tonight if he's going to make his first appearance for the Mavericks, which is, from what I've heard, it's going to happen tonight. He will be back for the Mavericks, Dennis Smith Jr. So all of those considerations are something that might be in your favor if you like the Clippers tonight in this game.
Great breakdown. Jay Monday, you want to follow up?
Yeah, just real quick. The only thing that makes me not like this spot for the Mavs is it's the third game in 4 nights, and it's coming off for travel. A tough game versus the Bucks. If you look at the game versus the Bucks last night, they played damn near a perfect first half. If they could play their way versus the Bucks tonight, I think they win this game. It's a total toss up. Like I said, I did take the Mavs on the money line. I did take it small. They are on the back to back coming from Milwaukee, but if any team is due for a win, I feel like it's the Mavs. They lost 4 straight. The Clippers just got their win down in San Antonio. The Clippers are more rested, but I feel like the Mavs coming back to the house will want this more.
No doubt. Yeah. Anything you want to follow up on that one, Mr. Ian Cameron, before we move on to another game?
It is a fascinating game to watch, not so fascinating to bet, in my opinion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Jay, we have a couple of college games over here. Anyone you wanted to ask Mr. Ian Cameron about?
Yeah, Ian, I did want to ask you about this Niagara game versus St. Peter's. You got St. Peter's 0-9 on the road. I'm not so high on Niagara, but they are at the house trying to pick up some few wins. What do you think about this one?
They don't play a lick of defense, this Niagara team. Their defense is horrible. They're going to have to score points to win games and cover numbers. That's the strength of this basketball team. Marvin Prochet is a great player on this Purple Eagles team. Great scorer, very talented player, can score in different ways. But their defense has been lacking. And when you're talking about laying points with a team that doesn't play great defense or hardly any defense, that's an issue for me. I know St. Peter's has struggled on the road, and that's putting it mildly. They've been awful. They've been wretched away from home this season in the Metro Atlantic and all season, even going back to the non-conference. But I can't lay anything with Niagara here. Actually, I did actually bet St. Peter's plus 3.5. It's a hold your nose, close your eyes, say a few prayers kind of bet, taking St. Peter's on the road. But I've been burned a couple times laying points with Niagara at home because they haven't shown up at the defensive end of the basketball court, and that's enough of a concern for me to kind of like St. Peter's. If they're going to get their offense, and it's a tough team offensively, they're not great. They can go on scoring droughts like crazy. But if they're going to get something going in terms of putting the biscuit in the basket, finally the St. Peter's squad, it's got to be tonight against this Niagara team that doesn't play a whole lot of defense.
I have nothing on that game. I didn't cap that game. I didn't look at that game. College basketball for me, I have to pick my markers. I have to pick my small teams and cap certain teams. But, hey, Jay, anything you want to follow Mr. Cameron about that before I move on? I have nothing to say about that game whatsoever.
Yeah, he's exactly right. The St. Peter's, their defense is a lot better than Niagara. Just say if St. Peter's come out here and get their first road game in 10 games against me tonight, then hey man, I'll be cool with that. It's a little unit that I lost, but it's all good. Like I said, I did already take Niagara at the house. But it could definitely be the St. Peter's definitely could come through. One more game I do want to ask you about is Fresno State tonight. San Diego State, they could be like total hit or miss. They win, loss. We see them just beat New Mexico, which New Mexico pretty much blew their wide versus Nevada. But other than this, I've seen San Diego State lose at the house by Brown, man. I'm talking about they were favored by 11 points and lost that game by 20-plus points at home, man, to Brown. I'm not saying Brown is just absolutely terrible, but I mean, they definitely shouldn't have lost that game. What you think, Ian?
Yeah. What can Brown do for you? Brown can cost you some money. Brown can cost you some change, apparently, and that's apparently what they've done to a couple of games this year. They've pulled some surprises, and I'm sure it's been bad for a lot of bettors because I'm sure there'll be a lot of people thinking, "Oh, Brown can't beat this team," and sure enough, that's exactly what ends up happening. And San Diego State, though, we talk about, one of the recent wins was against New Mexico. You don't deserve any sort of power rating upgrade for beating New Mexico. That is a dysfunctional basketball team. Paul Weir, the coach, he really is basically throwing shit at the wall right now and seeing what sticks. At this point in time. I mean, his team's not playing any defense. Their offense is hit or miss, and it's a shame because they've got some good talent. They got Carlton Bragg, for one of the guys they got on that team, a Kansas transfer, played with the Jayhawks, and they've got some serious couple of very talented transfers that they've brought in to this New Mexico team, and it hasn't helped them. They've been dysfunctional. They're not playing any defense. We talked about Niagara just a second ago. Put New Mexico in that same boat. They can't play a lick of defense right now. That's an issue for me. So I know San Diego State got a nice win against them recently. I don't think they're going to follow it up here against Fresno. I like this Fresno State team a lot. San Diego State, too. If you look at their road records this season for Brian Dutcher and this Aztecs team, they've not been very good on the road. The numbers come down. It was 9. Fresno State, laying only 7 now because Fresno State's off a big-time game over the weekend against Boise State. That was a big game in the Mountain West Conference for them. And maybe people are saying it's a letdown spot potentially for Fresno State. I don't buy that because I don't think much of this San Diego State team. I think at the current number, I got to lay 7 here with Fresno State. They're the better of these two teams.
I totally agree with you on that one, man. Fresno's a better defensive team. I like the way they play their on-ball defense. You just took the words all out of my mouth right there. I am definitely rocking with you on Fresno -7. Jay, any follow-up you want to ask him real quick? Because I have 2 more games I want to ask him about before we touch on this last NBA game.
Right. Yeah, no, I have nothing. I did exactly that. I'm on Fresno State -7. So I actually like them first half and full game, but I didn't take the first half. But full game -7, I'm all over this shit. I'm like you, and the number came down, and hey, that was cool with me. I appreciate you. That's less points that I got to lay. I don't got no problem doing it, baby. I'm not a fan of the San Diego State team at all, man. So let's get it.
Well,
and there's another thing too.
Go ahead, Mr.
No, I was just going to say one thing. There's this old wives' tale that stubborn bettors that don't have confidence in their own abilities say, oh my goodness, the number went against me. I like Fresno State, but it was 9, it's down to 7. I must be on the wrong side. No, that's bullshit. All right. Have some confidence in your abilities. Have some confidence in the work that you do. Have some confidence in your own opinion, your own brain, and go with what you think is right. Don't let a move going against a side you like scare you off a game. Don't ever let that happen because these steam moves, these so-called sharp moves, they're about as sharp as a butter knife sometimes, and you can't even consider them. So, you do your own work, you follow what you think is right, and you go with it. To hell with what the betting markets do in terms of line movement.
I'm the same way. I trust my capping. So you're a veteran capper out here. I trust my capping. I don't like if I got to second guess myself on certain things. I just want to lay the money on it. If I gotta go question myself, sometimes the line dropping works in your favor as a capper. You may like that thing, but you're like, man, 9 is just too high. If it can fall a little bit, then I'm gonna hop on it. Then bam, that one fell until you left at 7. So I totally agree with what you're saying right there, Mr. Ian Cameron. I do have 2 games I want to ask you about, but I'll just stick to the one right now. Duke versus Pitt. I seen you put out your play earlier. You're on Pitt in this spot. I kind of lean with you over here, sir. I know Duke is off an amazing win versus Virginia, but now they playing against Pitt. That's a former Duke player, the coach over there. He's under the Coach's K coaching staff over there. You got RJ touching the ball more now, and no Trey out there. What's your thoughts on this game? Well, I know your thoughts, but what makes you like the Pitt in this situation, Mr. Ian Cameron?
Well, we're going to find out if Duke. How is this young team going to withstand prosperity? Is really the answer to that question is what we're going to discover in this game against Pitt, because you're coming off not just a good win, a great win against a tremendous Virginia team. That was a great basketball game. It was a down-to-the-wire game. The Cameron Crazies at Cameron Indoor, none of them are related to me, by the way. They were going nuts for that game against Virginia, helped the Blue Devils pull that game out. Now this young team, very talented, including my fellow countryman, R.J. Barrett, who has been tremendous for this team. Mount Zion Williamson, Babylon trying to front like he down with Mount Zion. He has been absolutely tremendous for the Duke Blue Devils so far. Little Fuji's there. He's been excellent, but you're right. Jones is out. Not going to play this game. You're going on the road. You're coming off a big win. It smells like a letdown spot. Can they handle it? And Duke got through that game offensively, but because Virginia dragged them into a little bit of a slower pace game, you're going to have to score now. And I've still got to see Duke's offense be cohesive without Jones on the court when there's going to be more pace. There's going to be more possessions, way more possessions in this game than there was in the Duke game against Virginia, because Pitt plays at a faster pace, way faster than Virginia. We're going to see if Duke can put the ball and make some shots here with questionable guard play going into this game tonight. That's going to be the question for them. And for Pitt, Look, I know Pitt was terrible last year. That's why they got rid of Kevin Stallings. But Jeff Capel comes in, head coach. He's brought some stability. He's let them be a little bit more assertive with the basketball, a little bit better offensively this year, push the pace a bit more. And Jeff Capel, let's not forget, years as an assistant head coach under Coach K at Duke. So he knows Duke inside and out. He knows Coach K inside and out from a game planning perspective, from a scheming perspective, and a preparation standpoint. That's got to give Pitt some kind of edge here going into this basketball game tonight. I don't trust Pitt. If Duke's laying 6, 7, 8, 9 even in this game, I probably don't get involved. But you're asking a young Duke team laying 12.5, 13 on the road against a Pitt team that's actually won 2 home games in a row against good competition in the ACC. They beat Louisville, who's a very good team in overtime at home. They beat Florida State in their last home game. This is a Pitt team that's shown they can be capable here on their home court. You know, the Peterson Event Center is going to be going nuts for Duke coming into town. I'm not sure Duke can win by this type of margin. I like Pitt plus 12.5.
I love it. You like it? I love it. I am telling you on that play. Jay Money, any follow-up to that?
Yeah, I don't have anything on this one. I could definitely see Pittsburgh keeping it within the number, like Ian said. But I know Pittsburgh is doing pretty good this year, but I still kind of feel like this was a little bit of a rebuilding year for them, even though they're doing so good. It's just hard to step in front of Duke for me, man. So it was a total no-play game for me. Some teams, I look at Duke like the Warriors pretty much. It's just pretty much hard to get involved with them because you're paying a premium for them. Just because they're Duke, it's probably a couple extra points added onto that. Like Ian says, there's no way they should be 12 like this on the road. It could be a bad spot. It's just once they get going, man, I mean, they start running that zone. They get going to fast break dunks and shit. I've seen them blow teams out in the water, man. Even if they come out sluggish in the first half, that's the whole thing. College basketball is a game of halves. They could come out, be down by 10 in the first half, and then go in there and get pep talk, and they come out there and just blow them out the water. I've seen that. That shit's happened to me already this year, so I'm just staying off of it. I can understand both sides.
Hey, I'm just telling my man, Mr. Ian Cameron here. I saw him put up the 13 earlier. I went to grab it. I didn't grab it. Now I'm sitting at 12.5 here. I'm going to tell you here, Mr. Ian Cameron, I'm jumping on Pitt plus 12.5 with you, sir. Any follow-up to that before we hit on this last NBA game?
It's a great comparison, but by the way, with the Duke and Golden State, you know, NBA college basketball, but there is a comparison between the two. There is a similarity between the two. And I'm going to mention this with Duke for the rest of the season, and this is the same way you got to handicap Golden State in the NBA. You've got to pick the games and pick the spots where you know Duke is going to be focused. They're going to be up for the game. They're going to be intense. They're going to want it. You know, they obviously want to win this game, but I'm not sure the intensity and the focus is there. Coming off that huge win against Virginia, and now you got to go on the road. You're not at home this time. You're going on the road, having to win this game. Tough turnaround, Saturday to Tuesday. I'm not sure you get that 100% focus on this game against Pittsburgh from a Duke perspective. And it's the same thing with Golden State in the NBA. There's going to be nights where Golden State doesn't give a shit. You know, and they go through the motions. It's an 82-game regular season. They're thinking of raising another Larry O'Brien trophy over their head in June. You know, that's their number one focus. They don't care sometimes about a January 20th regular season game against the Atlanta Hawks. You know, sometimes they may not care about that game for one reason or another. Golden State, you got to pick the nights where they're into it, where you got them, hey, we're focused. We want to send a message. We want to beat this team. Last night was one of those spots when they played the LA Lakers, because the LA Lakers just absolutely embarrassed Golden State on Christmas Day. And Golden State didn't forget that. And they handed the LA Lakers a butt whooping last night at Staples Center. I know the Lakers were injured. They had no Lonzo, no LeBron, no Rondo. I understand all that. But still, Golden State had a point to prove. They proved it last night. That was a spot where they were into the game. They were focused on it. That's when you got to figure out how to bet on or against Golden State. I think it's the same thing with Duke moving forward. You got to pick those games where they're into it and where they're focused.
Hey, respect. And you make a solid point right there in comparison with the Golden State that Jay Money made, in comparison with last night, exactly how Golden State played. You're spot on with that. And I think the same way about Duke. I kind of learned that with them about a year or two ago. Pick your spots with Duke. Perfect observation. Real quick, I know we're talking sports and we're having a great time, but Mr. What's his name? He must have went somewhere. Booby Booey or whatever your name was. Real quick, please, sir, don't ever make a comment about my wife or my children. I don't play those games. I don't find those jokes funny. Don't bring that shit in here, please. I don't find those funny. I take that personally, and I will personally fly to your location. So please don't do that to me. I don't play that. Don't do that with my wife and my children. Anything else you want to say about me, I take anything you say about me. I don't give a shit what you say. My wife and my kids have nothing to do with capping whatsoever. So don't ever bring my wife and my kids up at all. On to this last game, though. Minnesota, go ahead.
No, that's right. I mean, you can't make remarks about someone's family members, wife, kids, whatever it is. That's not the place to do it. You don't come on here and make remarks like that. For me, I get it every day from people in terms of, hey, you suck. Your pick stunk today. What's the matter with you? You call yourself a handicapper. I get that shit all the time on Twitter, and I'm okay with that. It comes with the territory. If I post a bunch of plays and they go 2-6 on Twitter, nobody's going to like it, and they're going to be upset, and they lost money because of something I recommended. And I understand that. Comes with the territory. You want to say, hey, you suck today, Ian? Fine. I can handle it. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. But you start getting into people's families and talking about, their mother, their father, their aunt, their uncle, their wife, their kids. That's going over the line. That's crossing the line. That's absolute garbage. Keep it out of the chat, please.
No doubt. Well, on to this last game. Jay, you could hit us with this last game, man, the Wolves Suns. I'm pretty sure me and you both are on the same side in this situation, Jay. So let me hear your take on it. No Aiden, no Holmes, no big men. Tell me this right here, ain't a max bet right here, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I am on the home and homes, and I am a little bit pissed in this one because I did have Minnesota. I took them the night before. I took them at the 10.5 or whatever, put a little unit on it. I accidentally bet 2 units on it, and so I'm like, all right, come on, let's see what happened. Maybe accidentally found me some more money. No, they let the fucking Suns hang around all game, damn near win the game. They are 12-point favorites, and damn near lose the game with the Suns in an absolute terrible spot, man. So that scares me away from it. And seeing that the Suns are at the house, they play a little bit better. They don't have any bigs. They're coming off a nice little road trip, but it is a home and home, and you know me, real. I just can't take that team again. I saw them struggle way too much yesterday. I feel like maybe even the Suns could possibly win this game if the Timberwolves played the same way they did yesterday. I think the Timberwolves are a lot better team than the Suns, but damn, man, they're not playing like it. I don't know. They could come out here and actually blow them out tonight like they should have did yesterday, but it's just one I had to stay off of.
Your thoughts, Mr. Ian Cameron?
Minnesota. There we go. I think. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, there we go. That's good. All right, yeah. Minnesota on the road. I don't trust them laying points. Phoenix has been scrappy. Say what you will about the Suns. Obviously, they're still in a full-on rebuild. There's no question about that. They have shown up on occasion. They won as a dog against Sacramento. They won out. They covered the number at Dallas. They beat Denver outright as a dog at home. Pretty good win against a solid Nuggets team. They only lost by 2 against my Raptors. 5 days ago. It lost by 2 last night. They've been competitive in a lot of games. I'd lean Suns here. Minnesota got them last night, 116-104. Now you got to go to Phoenix. I don't trust them to win by margin. If you only beat Phoenix by 2 last night, can I trust you to really win by margin on the road against them tonight? I'm not so sure. TJ Warren, I give him credit too for this Suns team. He's actually been one of the guys that's been the straw that stirred the drink, kept this team afloat here a little bit this season. Kelly Oubre Jr. scoring a lot better lately too. He's averaged over 20 points his last 7 games, and you like to see that the Suns are at least putting the biscuit in the basket. I know they're 11-37, having a miserable season on paper. Minnesota, talent-wise, is so much better, but there's been so much turmoil with this team. They've already fired Thibodeau. They've got Flip Saunders' son now coaching the team. There's been just so much, turmoil on and off the court with this group, and they've still struggled to put it together consistently even after the coaching change. So not involved in this game, but if I'm going to give a lean to the viewers out there, I'll lean to Phoenix here as a small home underdog.
Yeah, I'm capping it from a different perspective. I'm looking at it as no bigs for them, so I'm looking at less second chance points. Both of these teams, the Wolves without Covington aren't the same defensive team we've watched them become after the Butler trade. No Covington, their defense is completely spiraled out of control. They're playing against a Suns team that just doesn't have really defense. They just have hustle. And Aiden has been part of that hustle. Holmes coming over there from Philadelphia has been part of that hustle and grit for this team. I took Timberwolves. Won't lie to nobody. I put 3 units on the Wolves first half -2. I could see the Suns possibly winning this game. You guys make valid points. I think if the Wolves have any chance in this game to actually solidify this game, they have to come out first half, and they have to come out first half, and they have to attack the paint. If I see them attacking the paint, then I might jump on them again early on and take a full game. But you're right, though. At a home-to-home, this situation always points towards the home team, what Jay Money alluded to in that situation. But in this spot, this Wolves team to me just have the better players right now when it comes to the 4 and the 5 spot over there with those 2 injuries, with those 2 gentlemen sitting out. Anything you want to add to that, Jay, the first half play or the total in this game?
Yeah, I'm with you. As far as the total, I could only lean towards the over in this game. Just like you say, no bigs for the Suns. They pretty much running 4 guards and like a power forward as the center out there. You're going to have T.J. Warren, the likes of Devin Booker out there getting buckets. I don't know if Holmes is going to play tonight or not, but I'm definitely with you. If anything, definitely Timberwolves on the first half. Like I say, I like the Timberwolves. They're the better team. It's just the way they was playing the other day against them. Like Ian Cameron say, at the house, man. You was bullshit against them at the house. Now you're going into their house, and they're coming off of a 4-game road trip where they've lost every single game. It's just tough, man. But the Timberwolves, they should come out here and win this game. If they lose, that's just terrible, man. They have the bigs to win this game. Even if they had Taj Gibson running the center in this game, they should have an advantage. So, Karl Anthony Towns better go off in this game and have at least 30 points, or I will not respect that guy. I'm with you, Real. Obviously, no big man. They should flourish. It's just we know how the Suns play. They can be scrappy, and they can be a second half team and come to the house and win. And T.J. Warren and Devin Booker balled out on the Timberwolves the other day. I don't see why they don't do it again. I see points. I can only look towards the over in the total, and I might have to hop on that Timberwolves first half with you, Real.
No doubt. And Mr. Ian Cameron, before we get up out of here, is there anything you want to say or any plays you want to give or you want to tell people where they can find you at? Promote whatever you want to promote, man. You are family now, Mr. Ian Cameron. You are part of the royal family now. So, whenever you want to come here, anytime you got to play, you are more than welcome to hit me up. I get you on the same day. No problem. Whatever you need, sir. But anything you want to plug or tell people they should be watching or following from you?
Yeah, it's great. It was great to be on here with you. We'll definitely do this again. At least a couple more times for sure before the end of the NBA season. It was a lot of fun. I'll get to some plays after, but yeah, Twitter at Bobano. I post plays in all kinds of sports on a daily basis. All my opinions. I give you rants, my opinions on games as they're going on. Official plays, rightwager.com. So that's where you can find me. I do SBR Play of the Day videos as well for Sportsbook Review. So that's all the places to find me. One last point about this Phoenix Suns game. You look at their last 2 games, 230 at 250 total points in the 2 games against Charlotte and Minnesota. So there's not a lot of defense being played from a totals perspective. Yeah, it's hard to bet Phoenix under the total right now with the lineup. They're going small. Guard-oriented lineup, and it's definitely increased the pace for this team. So, yeah, over the total or nothing for me in this Minnesota-Phoenix game from a totals perspective. College basketball, I mentioned Pittsburgh. I like that one, plus the points. Unfortunately, Wichita State, South Florida is already tipped off. I liked South Florida and the over in that game against Wichita State. I'm just trying to see what else. I like Ole Miss, too. Mississippi Rebels +1 against Alabama, +1.5 now. They're one of the best stories in college basketball. Kermit Davis, what a job he's done there. Middle Tennessee State is consistently a great mid-major program when he coached there. He's now turning this Ole Miss around quicker than a lot of people thought. They've been tremendous. They're 15-3 straight up, 14-2 against the spread this season. The best point spread team in college basketball, Ole Miss. Alabama, I think they can beat them even though Ole Miss is on the road. Alabama's off a tough loss against Tennessee. They battled their asses off to win that game against Tennessee, gave it their all, fell short. Could be a hangover, letdown situation just a little bit here for Alabama tonight as they take on this Ole Miss team. So I like Ole Miss +1.5. And, of course, as I mentioned before, Pitt Panthers. Oh, and Fresno -7 as well against San Diego State in college basketball.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you. Well, before we get up out of here, J Money, tell the people where they can find you, what plays you on.
Oh man, y'all know what's up, man. It's J Money is Money. Y'all can find me on Twitter at J Money is Money, JAY Money is Money. Let's see, plays today, man, that I got in the NBA. I'm on the Mavs and the money line. I'm on the under in that game. Let's see another one I'm on. I'm probably gonna hop on my guy Real, hop with him on this Timberwolves on the first half. I'll tweet it out if I do decide. So I did take the under in the Sacramento and Toronto game. College basketball plays that I'm on Florida State tonight. I'm on Boise State. I'm on Fresno State. Damn, that's a lot of states, man. But shit, I'm on all of them. I need Notre Dame to come back and win too, man. So right after the show, I'll tweet out all my plays that I put out. I need Florida State to come back for me, man.
So I'm your man King Real. I'm on the over 229 in the Raptors game. We had the Raptors first quarter. Unfortunately, that took a shit for us, and that one lost. I'm also on the Thunder. I bought a point, got them at the 3. I'm on the over in the Blazers Thunder game at 222. Clippers, I took the Clippers as well at +4. It's down to +3 now. I'm just might hop on the money line, but I'm still going to hold up and wait on that and figure it out. My biggest bet of the day is the Timberwolves first half -2. And it's been a great show, man. I was blessed by my man Babano, blessed to be joined by J Money, blessed to have a big following in here. And before we get up out of here, I want you to know, Mr. Ian Cameron, everybody misses the Ice Guys. SBR, we need the Ice Guys back. The whole chat's asking for it. I've been asking for it. Let's find a way to get the Ice Guys back on SBR. As a fan perspective, I love the show. It was my favorite thing to do when I woke up in the morning. First thing I watched every day. I might not comment it every day. Brushing the teeth, washing the face. It was a show that I watched. So, Mr. Ian Cameron, thank you once again for coming on the show. I'm about to call you Teddy B, J Money. J Money, thank you as always. I'm King Real. It's been great. God bless. We'll see everybody tomorrow, man. Thanks once again, Miss Ian Cameron. It was a pleasure, man. See you guys tomorrow, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Kings Court.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
No problem. Thank you for coming on, sir. It was a